So today's video is a little bit different. It's about initiation. In Haiti, they call that getting initiated, or Kanzo. And I want to say something about initiation because I think that it hasn't been addressed. It hasn't been addressed and never been addressed. I don't think so in our community. So I want to address something to the ones that's on their way or thinking about getting initiated, or or who already got initiated and still kind of lost on their journey. I think the whole Kanzo, or what we call Kanzo, or getting initiated, has a kind of a bad light, and I want to explain to the ones that outside looking in to know why there's this darkness around it, or where this low energy, or circulating around it. It has been around it for many years. One of the things is that a lot of us, when we go into initiation, we didn't do a proper research on it, and I think even the individuals that's actually in it could, whether they want to admit it or not, can also say they wasn't probably properly informed about certain things, because we just going by what our ancestors did, or someone in our family, or our culture. That's what. Now, when some of us think about getting initiated, there's two type of people that try to get initiated. There's the ones that look at the outside, the physical surface of the initiation, the Kanzo, what they see, meaning the beautiful dresses, the people catching spirit, the stuff that comes with it, the things that they show you. It looks pretty. It looks different. So you want to be part of that. So, and then there's the other person that's gonna go get initiated because they're trying to find their purpose. They're trying to find who they are. So, and sometimes if you're not careful, and you're not paying attention, you can, confuse the two. Do you want to get initiated because of what you see, what those other mumbles or priestess or priests are showing you, or do you want to get initiated because you're trying to find yourself, or you're trying to understand this thing called life? So that's something that I think needs to be addressed in that community. Is a lot of us, when we get into that, or when we go pick that path or go on that path, we actually don't really know what we're getting ourselves into, because no one is preparing us mentally for what we're about to see, or what we're about to witness, what we're about to experience. So it's one of those things that you really need to have like a sit down with yourself and kind of like ask yourself, okay, is this the right path for me, or do I need to be going on this path, or what am I supposed to expect on this path? And sometimes we don't really ask ourselves those questions because we're such in a rush to get this done and trying to see what's behind the curtains, that we don't ask the necessary questions, because when you don't ask the necessary questions within you, then what end up happening is that you go in there expecting something, or expecting to see something, or expecting something, and then when you get there, what you expected, you didn't see. So it kind of makes you question yourself a little bit after. But see, this is this is where it get kind of tricky. A lot of us go in there with the expectation of becoming like the things that you see. Okay, you went in there with that mindset. If your mindset is that, then that's what you are going to get. But if you go in there with that open mindset, that open mind mindset, like, okay, I'm open to receive. And when it's your time, if this is a path that you were chosen to be on, you're going to receive what you ask for. You understand? And I wish some people, like, before you go, you pick a spiritual parent or whatever, they actually have that sit down talk with you. So when you do, go through the process, you kind of understand what you up against. You understand? But see, some will tell you, oh, this is the purpose of Kanzo, this is the purpose of initiation, this is the purpose of this is the purpose of that. But that's someone else's purpose. You understand what I'm saying? That is someone else's purpose. That's someone else's definition of what it is. So if that's what you're going by, that's what you're going to become. You're going to come that person. You're going to come another them. You're going to be, in that environment. You got to understand, when it's your path, it doesn't look like everyone else's. It shouldn't look like everyone else's. Whenever a path is looking like the people around you, or the people that you communicate with, or the people that have gone through it before, if it looks exactly the same and you see yourself doing the same thing, then that's not your path. That's not your path, because your path is unique. It's tailored to you. Kanzo, to me, it's about freedom, and it's about free will. It's all about finding out the true nature of you, the purpose of you. You understand what I'm saying? It's the physical stuff, the catching spirit, and the sacrifices and all that other stuff, the beautiful dresses and all that. That is beautiful, that's nice and all, but you gotta understand, there is a whole wisdom and knowledge, hidden knowledge behind everything. And if you are not careful, you could fall under the category of people that just doing the surface level of Kanzo, but not really the knowledge level of Kanzo. You need to have like an open mind to get the knowledge down pack. Because once you get the knowledge down pack, then it's good. You could worry about the surface stuff. You could worry about all that physical stuff, all the spirit names and what they represent and all those things is gonna come. But the knowledge that comes with that, you have to be open to that. That's what I think a lot of people fail to realize. When you look back and you see everyone is doing the same thing, there's a problem. There's a problem. Then, because like I said, Kanzo is about free will. Whenever you go somewhere and they are restricting you, they're telling you, okay, this is how this needs to be, this is how things needs to be, this is how you need to do things, then it's not free will. Okay, that's control. Control has a lot to do with options. Like, you can't do this and that, but you can't do this. You understand what I'm saying? So that's option. You don't really have free will, because if you have a lot of options, it's telling, okay, well, you could pick A, B, and C, and D, then that's not free will. Free will is you being completely free to know who you are. You're not going by a book. You're not going by someone else's opinion or someone else's standard. You're literally letting the universe work through you. And a lot of us, when we get into initiation, we join the temple or the society or whatever, and when you want to get out and trying to like go on your own and start your own things, you're not going to get the support that you would want to get from that society, because they're already set in there. They're already set in their ways. So it goes back to in the beginning. What were your purpose? What was the reason that you went on this journey? Was it to become someone else, or was it to find your purpose or find who you are as an individual? So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself, because you got to understand this. When someone is guiding you, they're going to guide you on the path they know. They're never going to guide you on the path you need to be on, because they don't know where you need to be. Only you know where you need to be, but you got to know that you know where you need to be. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not there to guide you on your path, on your right path. They're guiding you on their path. You understand? And sometimes by the time you realize you're not on the right path, and going through this, initiation Kanzo and stuff like that, and being open, being totally free and open to receive the knowledge, it doesn't come with sacrifice. Meaning, you have to really detach from what you've been taught. You have to really detach from your culture, from who you think you are. You have to be really detached from everything that you knew. Everything, you have to be detached, because part of you being free and being open is you can't have any attachment. You understand? Because once you have attachment, it limits you. Then your mindset is only this. You're limited. You can't go here, you can't go there. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta step outside the box and let the universe pour its knowledge and wisdom onto you. Because if someone asks you something that's outside of what you've learned, in your Kanzo, if you're in a society, whatever, if someone asks you something outside of that, you won't be able to answer it. You're only going to answer out of that mindset, that capacity that you have, that little mindset that you have, because it's not even, because the universe is full of information, full of knowledge, and you can't go somewhere where you are limited on the amount of things that you are allowed to know. So it's very, very, very tricky when it comes to stuff like that, or getting initiated to, not even only the Haitian community, anywhere that you go get initiated, you have to have that type of mindset that you are simply there to find out who you are, because you gotta know that it's think about it like a map. It's a map, and in that map, there's a lot of roads. Like I said, it's just like the Bible. There's a lot of road, there's a lot of path, and there's a lot of turns, and there's also a lot of red flags. If you are not paying attention and you are not careful, you're gonna miss your turn, and you're gonna miss all the red flags. And by the time you realize that, it could be another lifetime. It could be, several lifetimes, until you actually figure that, wait a minute, it seems like I'm going on a loop here. Because if you look around and everyone is doing the same thing, there is a problem. There is a problem. We all can't, do the same thing. We all can't think the same way. We all can't be the same. You have to be unique within you. That's why it's your path. Your path is your path. Can't no one walk your path for you. Can no one tell you what to do on your path. Can no one help you on your path. It's just your path. Someone could advise you, about certain things, but it's still your path. You still gotta walk it, and it's a solo journey. You understand what I'm saying? It's a solo journey. That's why you have to know, do you fall into the ones that are chosen to get on this path, or are you simply just doing it because out of the physical level of it, like what you see, what others present to you. If that's what you wanna experience, then that's not a problem. But you gotta also keep in mind that there is a little bit more knowledge to what you see and to what they teach us. But you have to have this ready to receive that. And there's healing that needs to take place before you can actually receive any type of knowledge. There is a lot of healing that needs to be done. And going through this healing and doing the healing, it really opens your eyes, to a lot of things. You understand what I'm saying? It's like this. I always say this. Knowledge is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Knowledge is very beautiful. But unapplied knowledge is no knowledge at all. If you cannot apply the knowledge, then it's no knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have to be able to apply the knowledge. Because by applying the knowledge, wisdom is born. You get it? By applying the knowledge, wisdom is born. So without the knowledge, wisdom cannot be born. You cannot birth wisdom.
Finding your inner
and
light.
Once you find it, your life would change completely. Before I had this mindset, I used to live a life reckless. I didn't care. I just do things based on my emotions, based on, what the environment that I was around, and once I found me, I had to humble myself. I had to humble myself really, really, really fast. And I had to make some changes. Because finding yourself requires change. And keep this in mind. Avant al Kanzo bien initié, qui n'est pas de côté, wherever, always keep that in mind. The person cannot give you something they don't have. Moun nan pa bjam ka ba ou moun bagay ke l bagay. Li pa bjam ka moutro on route ni on chemin ke li même li pa ko pase la donne. Comprenez? So l'a toujours montré ou vive son pal, l'a toujours montré ou sal koné. So you got to keep that in mind. The person is never going to show you a path that they haven't walked on or they haven't gone through. They're always going to show you what's normal to them, what how they've been doing things, the path that they're on. If they haven't been healing themselves, they're not going to encourage you to heal yourself. You understand? Also keep in mind is that always listen to your gut. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Always listen to your gut. Your gut, your intuition, always gonna let you know when you're in the wrong place. It's always gonna let you know. So you gotta build a relationship with your body, and that's why it's important to always connect yourself to the spirit realm, so you know where you're wanted and where you're not wanted. You know where you need to be next, and there's a lot of things that you start to realize about your environment. You understand? So healing is very important. I talk about it a lot. Healing is very important.